business travel. One of the big parts of what I get to do is travel the world, meet new people, go to new countries to speak on stages and to deliver training. It sounds cool, it looks cool, but is it everything it's made out to be? Well, let's talk about it. So I am in Frankfurt, Germany. I'm here for a 2-day training that I'm running with a client over here, and coming over here for 3 nights has made me think about the topic of business travel and all the travel that you need to do as a business person. Is it great? I mean, it looks great on Instagram, but is it really that great? Well, first of all, I'm in a pretty cool hotel room. It's pretty funky. Check this out. Check this light out. Bam. 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 Business travel for me is an interesting one. I've done a fair bit of it now over the last few years. This year I've been in Prague, Germany, Milan, next week New York. I've been all over the place for mostly speaking gigs and mostly meeting clients. And when you see people traveling online, on Instagram, on Facebook, it looks cool. You see, with the travel, you see all the great things. You see traveling the world, going and experiencing new things, experiencing new places. But what you don't see actually is the reality of what business travel looks like. Let me explain. Coming to Frankfurt, it's great. I get to meet and work with a client that I love working with, and I get to do work and talk about the things that I love to talk about. But at the same time, there's some drawbacks. I mean, number one, the main one is you're away from family. I'm here in Frankfurt for 3 nights. That's 3 nights away from family. And then next week I go to Milan for 2 nights, so I'm away again. And I don't like being away. I like being at home with my family. And also when you come away to places like this and it looks like on Instagram, wow, he's going to Frankfurt. The reality is I'm sat in here, in my hotel room. I'll be working 9 till 5 whilst I'm here getting something to eat, then coming back to my hotel room to do client work, to work on this thing, to get some real work done. So I don't actually get to go outside and explore these places as much as I would like to, and as much as it might seem to people that are just looking on the outside on the likes of Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, I went on there and ask people, what are some of the questions that you might have for me or someone that travels a lot with business? And so I'm going to use this video to answer them. Before I do that, please be sure to like this video, drop a comment on this video, or even share this video. It really, really helps to grow the channel and to grow what I'm doing. Okay, so I am going to fire through the questions that I've been asked on Instagram now. If you don't follow me on Instagram, be sure to head over there at Mr. Gavin Bell and give me a follow for when I'm asking questions for future videos. You know, it is a little bit tough. I mean, I don't like being away, Lauren doesn't like me being away. Saying that, she's super supportive and she gets it and she understands that it's just part of business. And so it's tough, but I wouldn't ever say it's a strain on the relationship. And you know, with the dogs are looked after by her, so that's no problem at all. This is one of the really hard things. You know, I'm someone that likes to stay healthy. I like to try and eat healthily, drink lots of water, all those good things. And when you come away and you're traveling, it can be really hard. Really, really hard to make sure that you're still eating, especially when you're sometimes catering to someone else's agenda. For example, if you're getting taken out for dinner or you're getting taken out for drinks, it can be really hard to still maintain that routine, maintain that healthy diet. You know, a lot of traveling is just staying in your room, and a lot of it is trying to just find a quick something to eat on the way, which is never as healthy as you want it to be. But one of the apps that I like to use is Google Trips. Google Trips is such a good app. I don't know if you can see that. You can download Google Trips, type in the place that you want to go to, so for example Frankfurt, and then you can see things to do, day plans, discounts, food and drink. So if I go into food and drink and top spots, I can see high-end dining, on a budget, breakfast and brunch. And so it's quite easy to find places nearby that do good food or do the food that I want to eat. And so I feel like when you go away, you just have to understand that you're not going to be as healthy as you are when you're back home. but you can still try your hardest to be as healthy as you can be. Now, I try and pack relatively light. If I can pack everything into a North Face bag, then great. Sometimes I take a small suitcase like this one here, but I just pack all the essentials. So like 3 pairs of boxers for 3 nights, 3 socks for 3 days, plus one. You always need that plus one because you never know. Always pack a book, my iPad, pen, passport, laptop, phone, all the chargers you need, all the adapters you need, all the toiletries that I need. But I try and pack really, really light because, to be honest, you hardly ever use. Oh, always swimming trunks, always swimming shorts, because you never know if there's going to be a gym, a sauna, or a pool. And there's been times where Okay, so my camera has just run out of battery. I don't have any time to charge it now, so I'm using my phone, and I've got the questions here on my iPad instead. You know, not professional, but this is kind of the whole part of this video actually, traveling. When you are traveling and you're trying to run your business and you're trying to eat healthily, you just have to realize that sometimes you're not going to be able to do everything that you want to do, and it's okay. You have to take that hit. It's part of the whole experience of going traveling and working in different countries. So let's get to a different question. Well, it's a mixture of both. You know, the whole traveling thing is tiring. Getting to airports, getting up early for flights, getting stuck in traffic, meeting people all day, working with people all day, and then you have to come back to your hotel room and work on business and work on your other clients. So it does get tiring, and you do have to put in more hours typically. Or you have to fill those hours that might be used as chill out time or leisure time to actually work. And that's okay. I don't mind doing that, but it is tiring, and it's not something that can be done for long periods of time. Now, I am somebody that does get inspiration from going to different places. So if I work in the same place for a long period of time, I get a little bit bored. And so going to different coffee shops or places or countries does stimulate me to get me inspired, and it does actually help me with work. Well, in this case, being in Frankfurt, I'm working with sales partners for a client over here doing a 2-day workshop on social media. So we're talking about LinkedIn and we're talking about Facebook ads. But normally when I'm traveling, it's for speaking gigs. So it's going to places for conferences. You know, in the UK, in Scotland, there's only a certain number of conferences that you can go to and speak to. And so if you are speaking, you are wanting to get on that speaker circuit, sometimes you just have to travel to get to the events. And if someone is willing to pay for you to go to that country and pay for your time, pay for you to be on that stage, then you've got to ask yourself, is it worth the money, or would I rather just not be at home? Some other questions are, what are the best parts? What are the worst parts of travel? Can I stick to a routine? The routine thing for me, I guess I've kind of answered that already, is it's tricky, it's tough. I mean, when you're working to someone else's agenda, you kind of have to do what they want to do sometimes in terms of going out for dinner and drinks, when you might just want to go and chill in your hotel room on your own. And so it's hard to stick to that routine, but I try and stick to it the best as I can. The worst part about being away is definitely the being away from family, being away from home, being away from that kind of normal routine. It's tough and it can get lonely. Like when I'm here in Frankfurt, I'm sat in my hotel room most of the time on my own. Even if you are out and about and adventuring, I'm still in the back of my head going, I could be doing this with Lauren. And so that is really tough. It's really tough being away from her, and it's hard to do it. On the upside, some of the great things about traveling is you do get to go to new countries, explore new cultures, eat the food there, meet new people, which is always really good and really fun. I think the whole purpose of this video was to say that most people look at Instagram and they see the highlight reel. They see, oh wow, this person is going traveling, or this person is getting to do amazing things in amazing different places. How cool is that? But we need to remember that there's also the downside, which is the loneliness, the not getting as much work done, the not being able to stick to routine, the eating rubbish food, the being tired, being away from home. And so I think the whole purpose of that video is just to make that clear, that sometimes the things that you see on Instagram isn't the full picture. It's not as glamorous as it looks. I hope you found some of those questions and answers relatively interesting. If you've got any other ones, please be sure to just drop them in the comments below and I'll answer them now. Be sure to head over to Instagram and follow me there, because I'm always asking questions for future videos. And if you want to get yourself featured, and if you want to ask a question for me to answer in a video, that's the best place to do that. If you've liked this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of those amazing things, because it really helps me with what I'm doing. Sorry about the camera. Anyway, have a great day, folks, and I will see you in the next video.